Man, what in the strength of numbers? Man, what in the actual frick? Man, what the actual heck did I watch last night in Golden State? What was that all about? Why did that have to happen? Oh, you're wondering what happened in Golden State? The fans celebrated like crazy. They realized that they don't have to choke away every 3-1 lead that they've been given. That it is possible to eliminate someone in a game 7 after fucking it up for 3 games in a row. Sorry, my bad. 2 games in a row. Yeah, I don't really know how that happened last night, I'm not gonna lie. Because the Rockets did almost everything you could possibly do correct in that moment and fucked it up somehow. For starters, their offense, I said their offense would be the end of them. It very much so was, but I didn't think the Golden State Warriors offense would recuperate after losing Game 5 in such an embarrassing fashion and losing Game 6 in a more embarrassing fashion than that. And then Game 7 rolled around, and I was like, well, as long as Fred VanVleet is still Fred VanVleet, and it looks like they can win even without Jalen Green, but if they get a Jalen Green game, the series is fucking over. And I mean the Jalen Green games, not one of those, that he had and 8 points and my God and wow. Nothing like that. I was thinking that Game 6, I saw some signs of life from him that was like, oh, this is going to save his career most likely. Nope. Of course not. Why would it? This man has proved time and time again that he is the worst out of the top 3 picks that were made this year. Because Cade and Evan Mobley is a 50-50 in my opinion. And anyone who disagrees, fuck you. And as far as, looking over and talking about it, the only one that's made it out of the second round is Evan Mobley, the Defensive Player of the Year. We'll get to his ass really quickly because he had an amazing game yesterday. The same cannot be said for the 3-point shooting of the rest of the Cleveland Cavaliers, who have disappointed me in a way that is so immeasurably bad that I did not know it could possibly happen. Yes, we were missing Darius Garland. Yes, we were missing a lot of threes. We dominated on the paint. We dominated on the rebounding category. We still lost. So, again, guys, I want to tell people this. When I'm looking at basketball games at this point, I want the NBA to figure a way out to make it where those shooting variants is not the end-all be-all. Because this shit is fucking ridiculous. Holy shit, this felt the same way I felt when the Timberwolves came into LA and absolutely shit on them. The only difference here is, holy shit, the Timberwolves offense was never this good. Seriously. I know how good the offense of the Indiana Pacers were, but I was thinking, well, they're not going to be able to get any stops, and eventually Cleveland will get a couple of stops, and that's all it takes for them to, take the lead and maintain it for a while. I was like, well, Donovan Mitchell went off again, and unlike last time where Donovan Mitchell went off and he didn't make his threes, there was no Garland to recuperate the leftovers of that. Ty Jerome, dude, what the was last game? Maybe you were getting fouled. Maybe. You seem to be pretty good about not whining about fouls, and you don't avoid contact. But some of your drives to the basket were questionable at best. And I know you were forced to do that because everybody's jump shot just stopped working at the exact same time. Even though it was completely consistent throughout all of round 1 and all of the 82 games that the Cleveland Cavaliers played. By the way, another thing, Sam Merrill was in the starting lineup. Understandably, get it. I get why he's there, right? Problem with Sam Merrill starting. He didn't shoot enough threes, quite frankly, for him to justify being out there. He shot the same amount of threes as Evan Mobley, and that just does not make any fucking sense to me. I have no idea why that was the case. Tyrese Halliburton kept getting the switch on Jared Allen, and it's making me question why Jared Allen is even out there. Holy shit. I think at this point, the adjustments that need to be made is Jared Allen has to hedge on the fucking picks. Hedge. Please stay with hedge on those picks. Hedge on those picks, will send a soft double, and Tyrese Halliburton will not be able to make the pass to the rolling man. The correct recuperation for this is because I'm pretty sure Evan Mobley is going to be still on Obi Toppin. It's for him to recover and recuperate, take the switch, go on to Obi Toppin. Go leave Obi Toppin and go to Miles Turner. And then from that, the soft double can change. So Allen can now guard Toppin because Toppin is likely going to either spot up for a three or drive to the basket. And him driving to the basket on Allen is not going to work. Allen actually has a good enough foot speed to deal with that. Now, perimeter wise, he's not going to be able to guard Tyrese Halliburton, obviously. Nembhard, dude, fuck this guy. Hate this guy. Swear to God, man. Fucking hate this guy, man. Hits all of the clutch threes, plays all great defense. Fuck him. He's like Josh Hart on crack. I don't like this guy. He does everything, and he's so good. He's so good for them, but like, fuck him. Pascal Siakam hit a lot of tough shots last night. I'm not mad about any of those. If we could limit his threes, that would be nice. Actually, I think Mobley has been primarily guarding Siakam. So obviously the rotation would be. I think Okoro needs to play more minutes. By the way, Okoro needs to be on the primary ball handler. If he's not on the primary ball handler when he does get minutes, he's absolutely fucking useless. I have no idea why he would be on the team. He is clearly the team's best on-ball defender, in my opinion. And Evan Mobley is clearly our best help defender. If we can put him on to... Hell, even having him on Nembhard for stretches of the game would be nice. I think Okoro needs to start over Sam Merrill. And yes, I'm aware of the offensive limitations of that because of his shooting is not the world's greatest. But to be honest, I'd rather have the defense in this matchup. I'd rather have this guy be a pesky person that would make Tyrese Halliburton less aggressive as a scorer. Because the less aggressive scorer, if Tyrese Halliburton is being a less aggressive scorer, his passing doesn't matter as much. His passing is great, don't get me wrong, but he is a score-first guard that can pass at a very high level instead of the other way around. I'm going to be honest. Like, if you actually watch Tyrese Halliburton, you would know this. Especially because Tyrese Halliburton now is attacking mismatch more often. It used to be that Tyrese Halliburton is a great passer that's passing opens up his scoring. It's the exact opposite way around now. And I don't mean that as in like he just forgot how to pass all of a sudden. It's just like he is such a great offensive player now that his passing is opening up stuff. Their defense is a lot better than anyone could have ever taught. The Pacers' defense is a lot better than anyone could have ever like fathomed, to be honest. Now, I don't think when Garland comes back that they're going to be able to deal with it, to replicate what they did in Game 1 in Cleveland. That shit is not happening again. The question is, can Cleveland, now that they lost the first game, get some games out of Indiana before time runs out in this series? They have to win multiple games in Indiana now. Indiana is not really known for what's the name? Keeping home court advantage. But here's the thing: Indiana plays much better at home than they do on the road. So, yeah, there's that. As far as how these teams match up holistically, I think that this is clearly should be a win for the Cavaliers. But I wouldn't discount it. I think I had the series going in 6, but that was because I thought that they would win their first 2 games at home. I didn't think that this would happen at all. As far as the Golden State game, what do I have to say about that? Fucking Buddy Hield had 33 points. 9 of 11 from 3. Where was this the entire fucking series? Like, I don't know. I don't even know. By the way, the Rockets limited Steph to making 1 shot before halftime is over. 1 shot. He had 3 points. And then he exploded in the second and fourth quarter, obviously. But, like, they are already opened the game so wide at that point, and Steph wasn't forcing any shots. And, like, Hield was getting wide open looks off of Steph's gravity, which is something that we're still talking about, obviously. But, like, again, Steph should not be the only ball handler on your team, and it's showing. Like, they need to limit his mileage as much as possible if they have any chance of beating Minnesota. And by the way, now that they have finally made it out of the first round, and and it's going to be the 7th seed versus the 6th seed, I would like people to remember that not only is the West an eternal bloodbath, always, But more importantly than even just it being an internal bloodbath, Timberwolves are just a better version of the Houston Rockets. So if it took 7 games to put them down, because of how inconsistent the offense was against them, I have terrible news for you, buddy. And his name is Jaden McDaniels. His name is Julius Randle regarding Jimmy Butler. Because I'm gonna be honest, Steph and Jimmy is a worse version of Luka and LeBron. The only difference about this team is that they have a better pedigree of defense of over the years. Problem with that is though, and I know Gobert and Kareem have such big beef. Here's the deal. Both of the other teams have the other team's offensive weakness. They have Ant is going to be a nightmare for even their best primary defender, Draymond Green, obviously. So yeah, I don't know what to tell you about that. And as far as Steph and Rudy, they have already shown me they can limit the ability of Rudy and limit his minutes. They don't need to play with him. So if Rudy is not giving them good momentum and stuff like that, they can play without him. That cannot be said for Golden State as a whole. Golden State is so much dependent on a Draymond Green to give them the amount of defense and offense that he gives them that they genuinely cannot play without him. I'm serious. If they don't have him, they're likely going to lose because that sets up a lot of the sets that they run for Stephen Curry, which gives him less responsibility as an isolation scorer. The less ISOs, I was about to say LeBron. The less ISOs that a Steph Curry has to run, the better in this series. I'm not gonna lie. Jimmy was also like a really good spot up shooter last night. I didn't really consider that because I've never seen. Obviously, you want Jimmy to have the ball. You wanted Jimmy to have the ball in his hands in the Miami tenure, and pretty much every tenure before that, right? Because Philly, there was no better ball handler than him in the playoffs. Let's be honest. And especially considering Ben Simmons' lack of abilities at that point in time, and it's Joel Embiid. You don't want him having the ball as a ball handler, at least at that point in time. Before that, his tenure in Minnesota, ironically enough, was Wiggins, and their guard should have been Rubio at that point in time. Yeah, Rubio. Yeah, I'd rather have the ball in Jimmy's hands. Obviously, Rubio could run the point. Don't get it wrong. I love Rubio. I miss Rubio so much, man. Man, I miss Rubio. Rubio's just a nice guy too, by the way. Regardless of that, though, yeah, his time in Minnesota, he was obviously the better primary ball handler, and then in Chicago, what do you want me to tell you something different? I don't. What am I supposed to say here? Obviously, you want the ball in his hands instead of a Rondo at that point in time in his career, or a Dwayne Wade. What? No. And not to say those players aren't capable ball handlers, but D Wade has clearly lost his step, and Jimmy Butler was on the up and up. So, yeah, this will be one of the first series. I've never seen him as a spot up shooter like this, and obviously he's worked on his jump shot since being in Philly, let alone Miami and all that shit. Yeah. I might as well get my second thought. Might as well get my second round thoughts on every team. So OKC versus Denver. Yeah, OKC's gonna rake them. I don't know what to say about this unless Shea just plays absolute garbage, like he did in games 1 through 3. I don't think that he is, and by the way, absolute garbage for a star standards. He's a star. He's a superstar, dog. I shouldn't be seeing a superstar average what he did, and the reason he averaged what he did is because is a stupid reason as well. He went away from what his game was, and I have no idea why he did that. Shea is going to eat whatever Canadian in that Canadian matchup. Jamal versus Shea. That's gonna be fucking fun. As far as our shooting guard, who is this team's shooting guard? I think it's still Christian Braun, which you tell me about that one. They actually do have the big spy committee to deal with a Jokic. It really depends on who you want as the help defender. I think previously I've said that I would like Chet to be as the help defender, because the help defender is obviously helping off of Aaron Gordon. My thing with him helping off of Aaron Gordon is I don't know if the he has to be the helper off of Aaron Gordon. I think they're gonna have to run double bigs for the series because of how physical Aaron Gordon is and how amazing he is at getting to the basket. I think Chet can box him out a little bit. But if he's getting abused, they're obviously going to put they're obviously just going to put Lou Dort on him. I'm just trying to think about the exit. I'd have Shea as the primary defender for Jamal Murray, especially because Jamal Murray is such an inconsistent player, and I think that Shea can actually like hang with him. He doesn't need to really stop him all of the time. Lou Dort on Aaron Gordon is my opinion. If Chet is getting physically abused, but if not, I would have Chet on him and then have Aaron Gordon. What's the name? Not Aaron Gordon. Jesus Christ. Have it Isaiah Hartenstein on Jokic. Probably your best choice. Because you don't have someone who's obviously the exact same physicals as Zubac, which was a perfect matchup for him. So expect his numbers to improve. I don't know if the turnovers will improve though, because they have such good players at playing the passing lanes and stripping people of the ball and making sure that you regret putting the ball on the floor for even seconds. You cannot dribble. It's really hard to dribble against this OKC team. And who will Jalen Williams can easily match up with an injured Michael Porter Jr. Although, as the playoffs go around, he's going to get better and more healthy. And his jump shot was really good in the Game 7, so there's that. This team is not as rested, but I think they will be. They're not as rested as OKC, but I think rest can lead to a little bit of rust. That might also be a reason why the Cleveland Cavaliers did not come out to that series as hot as I thought they would. I knew this was going to be a shootout, but I thought Cleveland would eventually win said shootout because Indiana's defense would eventually betray them. So, talking about the Celtics versus the Knicks series, what do you want me to say about this series that hasn't already been said? So let's talk about their regular season matchups, except there's nothing to talk about here because every single time they matched up in the regular season, Boston was absolutely putting hold on, let me look for one of these things so I can tell you what they were doing. Y'all can call this corny. You can call it whatever you want. I'm telling you. I found one of these. I'm showing you what he was doing to them boys. Them boys were putting motherfucking, you know, they were putting belt to ass. 2 belts, motherfucker. They whipped their ass the entire season around, motherfucker said. Constantly. Not only did they beat them in every single matchup, they blew them out in every single matchup. And I'm just telling you right now, if y'all were facing, and before y'all say, oh, we could beat Cleveland though. No, the fuck you couldn't. Y'all haven't beaten Cleveland either. And if you even, let's say you hypothetically beat the Celtics and you beat Cleveland or Indiana, which I don't think you can beat either of those teams. Let's just be a fucking honest, keep it a stack, a bean, whatever you want to call it. Even if you did all that, OKC is likely going to be waiting for you on the other side of the bracket. And guess what your record is against them? Is against that team. You're still no wins, all losses. You have a 0% win rate against any of the top 3 teams, record-wise. You know how fucking stupid you look? And it took you 6 games to deal with the Pistons? Everyone had and was looking over like, well, Pistons are not going to be able to handle the bright lights in New York. The Pistons are not going to be able to beat New York. The Pistons were beating you motherfuckers on your home floor. You only won. And the last game you played, in Game 6, I might add, and the reason you got a little bit of rest, and the reason that you're, still in the playoffs, Jalen Brunson had to hit a game-winning 3 over Asar Thompson. Not over Asar Thompson, where he completely lost Asar Thompson in the Suns. And even still, that series almost went fucking 7 games. Do you truly believe that Mikal Bridges can hold Jason Tatum, because I don't believe that. Do you believe that Hart is the best possible matchup for Jaylen Brown? Probably not. Not gonna lie. What do we think about Drew Holiday getting healthy? Obviously, you probably shitting your pants right now. So what is there to say about this series? You think the Cat and Porzingis matchup is gonna be enough for y'all to win the series? I don't. I have a brain between my head. Got a brain between my eyes. And it's telling me, all of the signs are telling me, belt to ass. All of the signs are telling me that they beat you that bad and it wasn't even a playoff situation. Imagine what they're gonna do when they're hungry to win another championship. Motherfucker. You will be lucky to win one game in this series. And it's sure as shit not gonna happen in New York, guys. Because actually, they're a better road team than they are a home team in the regular season. So good luck. Good luck. Because last time I checked, you niggas are not beating these niggas. And it's not gonna happen. It's not even gonna be close. That being said, Celtics and 4, nigga. I don't know what to tell you. I'm rocking with the green. Because logic is telling me that you niggas is not making it out of there. You more likely to untie that Gordian knot, boy. You cooked. If you like this video, go ahead and like this video. If you want more takes like this, more passion and more energy, like it. If you didn't like the energy, tell me why you didn't like the energy. And as far as any potential Indiana fans that might have discovered this video, fuck you. Like and subscribe.